Welcome back, trainers. So, with the release of Celebi's quests, everybody is out there trying to complete them. Now, Niantic said they're going to challenge us as trainers to see if we're going to be able to complete these. And I was hoping for some sort of challenge, right? Something hard. But we were just met with odd waiting periods in which we just had to simply wait and do a task once a day. The only hard challenge being probably the Espeon and Umbreon. And those aren't necessarily difficult, just more time consuming. Maybe more, effort involved if you're trying to do them faster than the average person. But it's not like you're going to have to go to extreme lengths to complete this, because simply walking an Eevee will yield you 10 kilometers eventually. So we're going to go over Celebi and what is the, big deal about it, and cover its moves to see exactly what is going on with it. And why doesn't it have any grass moves? I have no idea. Oh, Celebi, Celebi, Celebi. Not looking too good for you. Your stats are the same as Mew, but your move pool is just not that great. Not to mention your weaknesses. So let's go over this little guy's or thing's stats. Max CP potential 3,900. Exactly the same as Mew all around here. Attack 210, defense 210, and stamina 200. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at its weaknesses. It's going to be 4 times weak to Bug. It's going to be 2 times weak to Dark, Fire, Flying, Ghost, Ice, and Poison. That's quite a big set of types to be weak against, especially, fairly usable types as well. Ghost, Ice, Poison, Dark. Now resists Electric, Fighting, Grass, Ground, Psychic, and Water. Now let's go over its moves here and see what we have going on. And another thing, trainers, the whole Johto event is ending the 28th of August. So take note of that. And there you go. Tangela is also gone from the raids for some odd reason. I don't know why they would remove that, but it is gone. Maybe there was just not enough people doing them. Who knows? All right, so you have for the best moveset for Celebi, it's going to be Confusion and Hyper Beam. Hyper Beam, huh? Now, it's not getting stabbed from that. Normal type is not super effective to anything. You can get a weather boost with partly cloudy weather, doing massive amounts of damage. But then again, at the end of the day, it is just one charge bar move. Also, you're not getting stabbed from that. Next up, we have Confusion and Psychic. That alone right there is outclassed by Espeon, Alakazam, Mewtwo, and you can even probably throw a few others into the mix there. Then up next, we have Confusion and Dazzling Gleam, which you can just do a Gardevoir with, or even say Mew. You can't learn Confusion on Mew, but you can still have substitutes for that Confusion and still have Dazzling Gleam. Then you have Charge Beam and Hyper Beam, Charge Beam, Dazzling Gleam, and then Charge Beam and Psychic. So the thing between Celebi and Mew's move pool is so much more massive, as you can see, compared to Celebi. Charge Beam, Confusion for a quick move. Charge moves, Hyper Beam, Psychic, and Dazzling Gleam. Now, it would be nice to see, a couple grass moves on this thing. Maybe in the future it'll learn it, because as we see new generations enter Pokemon Go, a lot of these Pokemon have able to learn new moves. And that's another thing to consider as well. Not every Pokemon that you're saving that's 100 is going to receive some sort of special day. They're actually going to learn new moves when new generations come out, and they're just simply going to have their shinies released without any sort of community day. Now, I for one was extremely excited when they announced the public release for Celebi on the 20th for everybody to complete research tasks and try to catch the mythical Pokemon Celebi. Now, there was something else I noted that I was happy for, something that's going to require skill, but I haven't really seen much of that for these quests whatsoever at all. Let's go over what they said. Along the way to discovering Celebi's time-shifting nature, you'll encounter tasks that will test your skills as a trainer. Test your skills as a trainer. So let's go over some of these tests that they're referring to here. I don't really see much skill involved in this. Spinning a Pokestop once every day for 7 days. Same with catching a Pokemon for 3 days. I think the only challenging thing on this list is going to actually be walking the Eevees to get Espeon and Umbreon like we've went over before. So that's quite unfortunate. Now, why do I think they implemented these? I don't know. Maybe they just had no other ideas. Maybe they just wanted to make it somewhat simple for the public. Maybe they genuinely think that this is a challenge. Waiting periods are challenging? I didn't know that. I would think something along the lines of catch 100 Pokemon with a berry. Or even, something else along those lines. Maybe make 7 excellent throws in a row. I know now that some of you may be cringing at the sound of that because it's just so absurd for you to do. But, something along those lines, a little bit more of a challenge than what we've seen so far. Now, you would expect me to max this out as soon as I caught it, right? But I'm really having second thoughts at this point as to what exactly would I would use it for. Now, you may also think to yourself, Poke, you maxed out several very low tier Pokemon. What's the harm in maxing out a mythical Celebi? Well, you have Gardevoir who does the exact same thing, except even better, minus the Hyper Beam plus a Shadow Ball. So, I mean, you have those options on the table. You want to invest in a Celebi just because it's a Celebi. If you have the resources, then by all means, have a ball. But as you can see, the stats do not lie here. Celebi's max CP does surpass Gardevoir's slightly, but that doesn't mean much when it comes down to movesets and stats, with the Gardevoir's attack being at 237 and Celebi's being 210. Not to mention, Celebi is just, not on the level when it comes down to the moves. And when we take a look at Gardevoir, we have Confusion, Dazzling Gleam, Charge Beam, and Psychic as well. So everything that Celebi has, like I said, minus the Hyper Beam, plus a Shadow Ball move, which is, arguably better than Hyper Beam, unfortunately. Now, of course, as you may know, I'm not sponsored, which I am quite happy about. Now, this isn't targeting any specific person or groups of people or anything like that. This is just me being real. As you may know, I speak my mind over here and let you know how I feel about certain situations. Now, I'm not trying to just, nag and bring down Niantic or the developers or anybody else over there coming up with these concepts or ideas. I'm just simply letting you know how I feel about Celebi and the quests for it to obtain it. As far as I'm concerned, if it received a grass move, then we'd be looking pretty good. But otherwise, it's simply just going to be another dex entry and fun Pokemon for you to have. Honestly, Celebi's okay. It's never been one of my top Pokemon that I've really liked. It's just always kind of been there in limbo as an existing Pokemon in the Pokemon universe, and that's about it. Mew, on the other hand, is the first mythical Pokemon. I am personally an extreme fan of Mew, and not only that, its move pool in Pokemon Go is just fantastic. Wowie wow. Now, we all know Mew can learn a plethora of different moves in the main series games, and when it comes down to Celebi, well, it's just not like Mew. It has a specific set of moves, not a huge move pool like Mew, but it has what it needs to do. It's not a horrible Pokemon or anything, and I'm not trying to make Celebi seem like it's garbage or anything, guys. Please understand and bear with me. I'm just letting you know. So there you have it on my take for Celebi. Is it worth powering up? Kind of, but there's other Pokemon who can do the same thing that it's doing. Now, you may ask the question, so why would you even want to max out a Mew? There's other Pokemon that can get the same movesets in whatever specific area you're looking for that can outperform it and do better and get stabbed. So why would you want to go and power up a Mew? Well, the move pool is quite big. Its stats are fantastic. It was the first mythical, and it's one of my favorite Pokemon. Not my favorite, but one of my favorite. I really like this thing quite a bit. It takes me back to my childhood and all the mysteries involved with finding a Mew and never ever really obtaining it because you couldn't simply unless you went to an event. And it looks like we have a problem here, folks. Celebi is hearing me talk some smack over here, and it looks like it froze all of my backgrounds. As you can see, the psychic background is just frozen, so it looks like Celebi is not very happy with me. Oh, look at that. Same with the Mewtwo's. Alright, let's see if that's going on with all of the Pokemon over here. Yeah, that's odd there. So anyways, trainers, hope you enjoyed this video. Just a quick little talk, little chit chat about Celebi and the quests and my thoughts, right? Now, I'm not trying to rag on it. If you really like it, go for it. Power it up. I'm still contemplating it. If this video receives 1,000 likes, I'll max out my Celebi without even thinking about it when I catch it. It's just at this point, I'm thinking about Gen 4. And if you're wondering, well, you're probably pretty good, Poke, right? On all of your candies for the Gen 4 evolutions. Yeah, I am. But at the same time, there's also going to be Pokemon that simply don't have pre-evolutions from Gen 1, 2, and 3 that you're just going to have to catch a whole bunch of. And what I do on this channel is max out things, right away, test them out in the gym to see how they perform, and let you determine whether or not you want to power it up and spend your resources that you earned. And that's what I do here, is I try to power things up to see if you are interested in possibly maxing them out yourself and the performance all around of that Pokemon. So with that said, trainers, I'd like to say thank you for watching. I better end this now before Celebi just completely freezes my game all the way before it gets too upset. With that said, catch you all next time.